In the tapestry of life, where every thread holds a story, America in black and white emerges as a haven for the voices echoing through the heart of our communities. In this podcast, we wade through the rivers of our collective experiences, celebrating the vibrant hues of change brought forth by the whispers of hope and the roars of action. It's more than just a conversation. It's a journey into the heart of our society, illuminated by the light of those daring to dream and do. Join us, and let your voice be the melody that guides us toward a dawn where every color finds its place in the masterpiece of our shared destiny. Together, let's paint a future brimming with the positives that dwell in our minds and the actions that shape our world.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of America in Black and White, where we are coloring conversations on the canvas of America. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Emmanuel Nawa. He hails to us from the continent of Africa, the country of Zambia. Emmanuel Nawa, born on May 5th, 2002, in Mangu, Zambia, is a dynamic and purpose-driven creative whose work bridges the worlds of development, music, and community impact. Currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in development studies at the University of Lusaka, Emmanuel is passionate about leveraging both academic insight and artistic expression to inspire change and uplift others. In 2020, Emmanuel launched his professional music career, signing his first recording contract with Game Tight Records, an American record label. His music blends lyrical depth with emotional resonance, often exploring themes of love, spirituality, and resilience. With a growing catalog of work, Emmanuel continues to shape a unique artistic identity that reflects both his personal journey and broader social narratives. Beyond the studio, Emmanuel is committed to community development. In 2024, he joined the Book Drive Committee, a student-led initiative founded on August 18, 2024, dedicated to promoting literacy and educational access. Since its inception, the committee has successfully distributed 364 books to 2 orphanages, a testament to Emmanuel's dedication to meaningful service and youth empowerment. Emmanuel's multifaceted path reflects a deep commitment to growth, creativity, and impact. Whether through music, academic pursuit, or grassroots initiatives, he remains focused on building a legacy rooted in purpose and connection. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Mr. Emmanuel Nawa to the show. Hello, sir.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for welcoming me to this show. I'm really honored and I'm happy to have this conversation.
Well, it's good to have you. Is there anything you'd like to add to your bio before we get into the show?
I think what you just said is perfect. I don't think I need to add anything. If there's something I would need to add, maybe I would just like to say that I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything is perfect.
Okay, cool. Well, so I'll tell you where I'm going to start is I would love to start where we're going to talk about your musical roots and your artistic journey. Tell us what inspired you to begin your journey as a musician.
So my music started in class. At first, we used to do music for fun with my friends. My friends would be playing beats in class and we would be freestyling, just rapping about anything, trying to flow, trying to sound good. And then one day, my friend Danny Wadia, when heading home, he told me, "You know what, Emmanuel, why don't you take this serious? Why don't you start writing like serious music? But this time, just speak about serious things, speak about things people can learn about, things that can help somebody there who's depressed to feel better about themselves and make an impact to motivate somebody. Then I started doing music like seriously in 2020. And that's how I've been doing music from 2020 until now. I've been doing professional music. I've been pursuing my music.
Oh wow. So that means that the impact of your music has been really, really thought provocative and really, really touching because you as I mentioned in your bio, it says that you actually struck a record deal. So tell us, how did that come to be?
So it's just by the grace of God that I managed to secure this record deal with Game Tight Records. So I got this record deal in 2023 on the 23rd of September
Hmm.
when I joined LinkedIn through just scrolling on Facebook and other platforms. I came to discover this really good platform called
Hmm.
LinkedIn. It's a professional platform where you get to network with everybody in every sector of development. It's You can be in entertainment, you can be in technology. So I joined LinkedIn with the purpose of networking with people through my music, and I began to join music groups where we get to share different art with each other. Then I got a text from Mr. Livonte Bird. He's the CEO and founder of Game Tight Records. He offered me a deal, and I read the contract, and I was like, this is good for me. As a student, I can get a chance to actually support myself while I'm in school, and I can get to pursue music and actually spread my authentic self out there. And that's how I signed this record deal. It was through LinkedIn. And the most
Oh.
interesting part is that he liked
Mhm.
my language, my native language. It was a song titled Muipende.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't an English song.
Okay.
It was a traditional, more like a traditional
Okay.
Zambian song.
Wow. I'm going to tell you, it's always good to see, young people such as yourself, when you do the things that you decide what you want to do and you put forth that effort, and in putting forth that effort, how it pays off for you. So as you were doing that, what was the reaction from your family when you did the record deal?
So my family wasn't really supportive of this at first. I remember the first time I told my mom about me
Uh-huh.
being interested in music and actually taking it seriously. The first thing she told me was like, I don't think it's a really good idea because most of the young men and women who try to pursue music end up finding themselves in the wrong groups. They find themselves in gangs. And I was like, I'm going to actually pursue this music, and I'll take her word as something I should look out for. If I get to pursue music, I should avoid actually letting music influence me in a negative way and make me make the wrong decisions. So 3 years passed, and I
Mhm.
got this contract, and I showed my
Mhm.
parents, and they gave me a positive response. They
Okay.
told me, this is really good. We're happy that you're actually making positive progress with your music. So make sure you read through the contract and make sure everything is okay on your end. Make sure you're happy and make sure it's something you you get to grow out of. You use it to grow.
Mhm.
And they told me, go ahead.
Mhm.
And ever since that time, my parents have been supportive of my music and anything I would like to invest my time in. They are really supportive.
Okay, now I just want to just just as a disclaimer, I want to just say this to you. Make sure that as you stay close and secure, especially with your family, that you make sure your parents
Yes.
understand one thing, that our media outlets here in America, they always have the abilities and the things that they like to show negative insights and stereotypes when it comes to especially people that look like you and I in music, because a lot of that is just a stereotype. So not most of those people are
Yes, it's
like,
true.
so not most of those people are like that, but also, just as you grow yourself, and I'm sure that within the values that they've instilled in you, because it looks like they've done a really good job, that you don't have to worry about being one of those people that sometimes find themselves on the wrong side, because that does happen. But influence can be something else, but I don't think that they have to worry about that with you.
Yes, it's true.
So,
It's true.
mhm,
The stereotypes of the people of our color
mhm,
are really negative for the most part.
yes,
So in Africa, especially,
mhm,
when when families hear that a young person like me
mhm,
isn't pursuing something like engineering or pursuing a bachelor's degree in medicine,
mhm.
they get to have a negative approach towards that individual
Oh,
because of
wow.
the stereotype which has been portrayed by the American platforms of films, songs, and all kinds of entertainment.
Yes.
But fortunately for me, at least I think I can say that I've gained the trust of my parents, and they are really sure that I'll be okay.
Okay. And so, can you describe the moment you realized music was your calling?
That's a really good question. So, the moment I realized music was my calling was when I wrote the song Way Up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wrote this song in a period when my life was a little bit difficult. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Before I moved to the current university I'm at, I was at the previous university, which is called the University of Zambia. It's the best university in our country.
Okay.
Life was pretty difficult for me. I never had really good relationships with people. My grades were not so good, and I wasn't just really ready for university. I went too early to school. I
Mm-hmm.
was young and inexperienced, too inexperienced for
Mm-hmm.
higher education.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote this song expressing how I felt at that time,
Mm-hmm.
trying to inspire somebody out there who might find themselves in the situation I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote this song, I recorded it. Luckily, I was sharing the same room with a friend of mine who had the same interest as me.
Mm-hmm.
His name is David. He's
Mm-hmm.
a producer. So we produced. I wrote this song in my hostel, and we recorded it in our room. He mixed it, made sure everything was done. We posted it,
Mm-hmm.
and people love this song. Every time I promote this song, even now, it
Mm-hmm.
keeps on getting good feedback, especially from the American audio
Mm-hmm.
audience.
Right.
So from that time, I realized, let me continue doing this music thing. Let me keep on preaching what is right. Let me keep on being honest and being authentic. Let me not fake anything. Let me not talk about drugs. Let me not talk about guns. Let me just keep it real and talk about real life,
Mm-hmm.
and everything will be okay. So, that moment after I released Way Up, it was part of the songs in my Morphosis EP. It
Mm-hmm.
was an EP, an extended play.
Mm-hmm.
It performed the best. And I was like, I think this is it. I will incorporate other things I will get to learn as I grow older. But music, I will definitely keep it as
Mhm.
something I can use, a tool to really change the perspectives of young mindsets like me, because music is really powerful.
Yes.
That's why I keep on doing music.
Well, you know something? I gotta tell you this. I think, for you being positive and wanting to be authentic and just wanting to tell the true stories, I think that's second to nothing. That's real. And that's what I think people really want to hear and need to hear. But I think that as we think about, again, with you being a young man such as yourself, I think that's one of those things that I think catch people maybe off guard because they're always thinking about the negative stereotypes. So, can you tell us what actually put you more in tune, or made you feel much better about being authentic and just telling true stories and telling about life? What got you to that point?
Um, I've really noticed that in life, if you really want to make an impact, don't try to imitate somebody.
Mm,
No one will like you, and you won't you won't know your true potential. Your real potential lies in being yourself, trying to bring something that has never been showcased before,
mhm,
trying to bring a unique style, a unique style of talking, if it's a unique style of rapping, singing, public speaking. Nobody that made something unique failed to make it in life, and they never failed to make an impact. Thomas Edison invented the bulb, and he really made a huge impact.
mhm,
Nikola Tesla invented so many devices in physics which are still being used today.
mhm,
Uh, let's talk about people like Martin Luther King,
mhm.
very unique people that made big impacts in life. They were unique, they never imitated anybody.
Right.
When you imitate somebody, you really won't go far. So I believe in being unique. That's what really makes a difference.
Mhm. So, who were your earliest musical influences growing up?
Um, my earliest musical influence was, I would say, 50 Cent. The earliest, that's the crazy part.
Well, he's actually
um,
pretty good, but I
the
get it.
earliest, so the earliest story from my older siblings about me showing interest in music was when I was 4 years old.
Hmm.
There was this song in the club which was trending
Yes.
back in the day. I think you know it.
Yes. I
It
got the
played
CD.
in the living room. It played in the living room, and I heard it for the first time. Me and my young mind, I couldn't control what I was feeling. I just got on the table and started dancing.
Hmm.
And from that time, I've always been interested in music until I found myself being an artist, like as I am today.
Hmm.
So I feel 50 Cent actually lit that fire inside me. And then, God willingly, and by the grace of God, I found myself doing something unique,
Hmm.
but at least it was ignited by 50 Cent.
Oh, wow. So, how would you describe your sound and style to someone hearing you for the first time?
How I would describe my style?
Hmm.
I would say new wave Afro hip hop.
Okay. All right.
I try to incorporate some of the things I've learned from the American style of music.
Hmm.
I would say American hip hop is undisputed. It's always the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first kind of hip hop. So I try to bring some authenticity by incorporating now my Zambian languages and my own accent, and try to make something unique and something interesting. So I call it New Wave Afro Hip Hop.
But as I listen to you describe that, that in itself naturally puts you into what they call crossover appeal, which means that it crosses into several different genres. So when you think about crossover appeal, what does that mean to you?
Crossover appeal.
Yes.
From the word crossover, it's like shifting from one style to another.
Yes.
So my style, since it originates from the American hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
I incorporate it with our Zambian music called Dunka.
Mm-hmm.
It turns it into a different genre.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the audience's appeal,
Right.
if they like it or they don't like it.
Mm-hmm. So, what themes or messages do you try to convey through your music?
The message I try to convey in my music is life might be difficult. You might be broken down many times, but you get always try to get yourself back up. Always try to put yourself back together and start over.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. And always trust the process. And most importantly,
Mm-hmm.
never stop believing in God. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Christian, so I try to always uh, tell people to always believe in Jesus Christ, because from the beginning of my life, Jesus Christ has always been there for me.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things He has done for me, which I cannot explain myself. Even just this opportunity to get on America in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that I am clever or what, but it's by the grace of God that you actually found me and saw me as somebody fit to be on your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the themes I try to show in my music.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make sure that people of my color believe in themselves. They are greater than they think, or they are greater than what the society speaks about us.
Mm-hmm. And so, but and I will tell you this, it was a wonderful situation in which we actually got the opportunity to connect on LinkedIn, and I want to thank you for that, because just as you get to learn and you get to understand, our audience, I want to make it as broad as possible, but when you just connect with true authentic people and people that are about that positive message, and doing the positive things, that's what our platform is about. And so we go,
Yes.
as more as just, just deep into not just the positivity, but also we want to build communities. And so it was just more than honorable because, again, as I say, being a young person like yourself that's not only engaged in your college studies, but being a professional musician and still believing in not just your spirituality, but your ability to go back and do work in the community. That means more than anything, and that transcends around the whole entire globe. And so that's our goal, is to reach around this whole entire globe and letting people know that as we band together and do those things, we can make a difference. And I believe you are going to make
Yes.
that difference in Zambia.
Amen.
So, what's one song in your catalog that holds deep personal meaning for you and why?
One song that holds deep meaning for me
Mhm.
is Saved Me.
Mm,
Saved Me is a gospel song that I wrote and recorded in 2021.
mhm,
Uh, it's a song which speaks about my life, and it's a song which I wrote through noticing some other people's lives and how good God can be
mhm,
to somebody, and how much God can come for you in your darkest times. So, Saved Me is a really is a song which I hold dear in my heart because it always gives me hope in Jesus. It reminds me of a path I once tried to live or follow that almost led me into the dark. I don't think I could have even had that opportunity to be talking to you today because I could have made decisions that could have cut my life short. But because Jesus Christ has
mhm,
always found a way to reach out to me through people or through posts that always encourage me, and through situations
mhm,
that strengthened my faith in God. That's why Saved Me
mhm,
has a soft spot in my heart because
mhm,
Jesus Christ has always been there for me. No matter what, I
mhm,
always put my faith in Him. He always keeps providing for me, gives me everything I need, and He always paves a way for me, regardless of how difficult life might be or how much
mhm,
the world tries to make me doubt my potential.
mhm. How has your music evolved over the years?
Can you repeat that question?
Yes. How has your music evolved over the years?
So, actually, when I started music, I used to be more into the mainstream kind of music, the the little baby music, the the young ma music, the little pump
Mhm,
music, to sing about things which never used worldly things,
mhm,
talking about money, talking about women. I wish I left some of my songs on my YouTube
mhm,
channel so that people could see what kind of music I did
mhm,
at first and what kind of music I'm
mhm.
doing now.
Right.
But my music changed over the years from the dirty kind of music to the clean kind of
Mhm,
music. So now I've
mhm,
found that in Zambia here, there is a specific type of sound that they like, which is
mhm,
mumbaton.
mhm.
Uh, it's more like it it originated from the Caribbean, so it sounds a little
Okay.
bit like
Okay.
reggae.
Yeah.
So I incorporate that one and mix it with hip hop, and then I
Oh.
add some of my Zambian language to it, and then
Mhm,
people love it. So I believe that's the kind of music I'll be doing
mhm,
over the years,
mhm,
because in Zambia it's gaining a lot of traction. People love the style. There are two of my songs which are actually doing pretty well on
mhm,
my platforms. And speaking
mhm,
of the song which got me signed to Game Tight, it's
mhm,
it's a mixture of Mumbaton and hip hop and Zambian language. So
mhm,
I'm really looking forward to sticking to that style.
mhm,
So I would say my music has evolved from typical trap music
mhm,
to Mumbaton
Hmm.
Afro fusion. So that's why I call it new wave Afro hip hop, because it's a new kind of sound that I'm trying to bring to the social media, to the music industry. That's why I call it new wave Afro hip hop.
Well, I'm
So
going to tell
that's
you this. That's going to be a good thing because, creating such a new genre, as I say, that's got crossover appeal like that is very valuable, but it also says a lot for the stamp that you can put into the music industry.
Thank you so much.
So, what challenges have you faced as an independent artist and how did you overcome them?
So some of the challenges I've faced as an upcoming artist, as an independent artist, is funding. Uh, as an independent artist, it's very difficult to find money to constantly improve your music,
Hmm.
especially if you're not working.
Hmm.
You're a youth. You don't have a job yet. You're still pursuing your studies, and you're trying to strike a balance between music and school. So the budget is a little bit tight, and you really struggle to find uh, good quality producers who can actually accommodate your budget.
Hmm.
So funding has been the biggest challenge for me till I managed to get this contract. Then
Hmm.
two, getting people to actually now trust my style of music.
Hmm.
That was the second hardest part. When I started music, people were really not too sure about me as an artist. I was still trying to figure out what kind of artist I will be, what kind of style I will focus on. My content was not really too good looking, it was not professional. So uh, I was struggling with inexperience and just getting used to a fast changing music industry.
Hmm. So, how do you balance creativity with the business side of music?
Um, what I understand now is that uh, music is now more business sided, because I've noticed that record labels don't really care about how good somebody might be, but
Hmm.
they look at the buzz.
Hmm.
Is that person trending? Do they have a huge fan base?
Hmm.
So I try to incorporate some of the style of music which is actually trending on the market, so that when I post a song, it can actually get some buzz, but also stick to my authentic self. I try to not end up following exactly what's trending, because you lose your authenticity when you're trying to focus on too much on what's trending. So I
Yes.
try to stick to what's new, because
Hmm.
it's a fast changing industry. You don't have to stay stagnant, because
Hmm.
you can end up being primitive instead of evolving healthily and constantly improving your style. So I
Hmm.
try to be unique, and I try to evolve so that I can suit the new audiences which are coming into the industry each time. Because
Hmm.
a few years ago or a few decades ago, we had the kind of music which was done by people like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and now we have this kind of new style of music which is being done by people like Lil Yachty. So I try to stick to the new kind of music and
Hmm.
stay unique. Like that,
Well,
I will still post something which is trending or which
hmm.
can be understood in the current time. and stay unique at the same time without actually lagging too far behind.
You know, I think your innovativeness and your creativity is going to play a major part as you continue to succeed in this industry. Because I think once you have the opportunity for one to sit down and to create and to come up with, you know, the style of music that's more than just appealing, you know, to one side, but to at least three or four different sides of the music industry itself. What that says about you is that your music touches an enormous amount of people. And so I'm looking forward to continuing to watch your growth, because I think as you continue to grow in the industry and you continue to create this music and the style of music that you got, that is definitely going to go global, and you're really going to become a mainstream artist before you know it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. I'm looking forward to that.
So, what role does faith or spirituality play in your music making process?
So usually I pray before actually recording a song.
Mhm.
Somebody who's not really spiritual wouldn't understand me, but the way it plays a role in my music is that when I pray, when I'm lacking ideas, ideas tend to start coming into my head and I get some guidance from God, because I don't really want to write songs with my own human understanding, because I won't write something which is really good or something which will stand out or make an impact. But with the guidance of God, I'll make something which is actually going to touch somebody or still stay relevant, because it is actually speaking the truth, because the truth never grows old.
Right.
You hear songs about Bob Marley, which were recorded over a decade ago, but somebody of my age, even somebody in the future, will still come and say that, okay, I've gone through something like this, or I can learn from this kind of music.
Mhm.
So I feel music without faith is really chaotic, because you will think you're actually speaking something which can help somebody, but it's not really being helpful, because you end up maybe in pride for music, because as a hip hop artist, it's very easy to give into pride. You start recording songs speaking about how good you are with your rap, which shouldn't be really the case when you're actually supposed to be singing against people
Mhm.
who are suffering out there, people who need funding, stopping wars, because it can only take one voice to stop a war or reduce world hunger to a certain extent.
Mhm.
Because hip hop can actually be a tool or a weapon. You just have to choose how to use it. But with faith,
Right.
it can really be a tool that you can use to change, to make an impact and change the world.
Mhm. So let's transcend over to your work in the community and the cultural impact. Tell us about the work you're doing in your community and what drives that mission.
So I'm part of uh, a club at my school at the University of Lusaka, which was founded by my colleague Anita Muma. The name of our club is the Book Drive Committee. We are a committee that's focused on helping achieve sustainable development goal number 4, which is quality
Mhm.
education. So we are focused on distributing books to vulnerable people, people without books. So mainly our focus for now is orphanages and schools that lack funding and proper quality books.
How do you use music as a tool for healing or empowerment in your outreach?
Can you repeat the question?
How do you use music as a tool for healing or empowerment in your outreach?
So, there's this song we recorded with my friends. The first time we visited an orphanage last year, that was Fountain of Hope Orphanage. We recorded a song titled Don't Lose Hope. So, this song was aimed to speak to the children that regardless of their current situation, if they believe in themselves and work hard with the little tools or little help and have, they can actually turn out to be one of the best individuals and most valuable individuals in society. So I try to incorporate that to encourage children to focus on their studies and not focus on things like drug abuse, staying focused. I try to preach that so that they can still focus on their education and improving themselves while actually inspiring them to do some music and improve their skills too. Because I feel or I understand that in this kind of society we live in, the modern world, you can't really focus on one thing.
Right.
Like education is really powerful and it can be used to do a lot, but you can't count on it alone. You need to marry it with your skills and your talents because I believe God gave us unique talents that we can use to actually extend our reach to all kinds of people.
What's one community project or initiative you're most proud of?
I'm proud of the book drive initiative by Anita Muma because it's something that's actually proven to actually work in our society. My country is a country that has a small percentage of educated people. And from that small percentage of educated people, anybody who achieves or attains a degree actually gets better chances of making an impact in their lives and improving their lifestyles. So I believe education is a great equalizer in life. You might come from a poor family, or you might end up finding yourself in poverty by situation, finding yourself in situation of poverty. But with education, you can actually make a great equalization and change your life. So I'm proud of the book drive project, which is currently being led by Anita Muma, because I have noticed that in my own family and in my society, my community where I come from a small town, Kapirimposhi. I'm currently in the capital city of Zambia pursuing my undergraduate degree in development studies. And from my observation, I can say that education in my society is a really good equalizer. Education is really important because it opens your mind, it makes you understand things on a different perspective. It makes you fit to work in the corporate world. So I feel education is really important.
So, how do you engage youth or marginalized voices through your work?
Can you repeat the question?
How do you engage youth or marginalized voices through your work?
My network is a little bit bad. I would like to
Okay.
apologize for that. Okay, but can you repeat?
Yes. How do you engage youth or marginalized voices through your work?
So, the way we engage marginalized voices in our work is we, when we are communicating to them, we communicate to them in our local languages so that we can help them understand what we are trying to do for them. And what we do is we try to encourage them to participate in interacting with us, because we have understood that highly marginalized groups of people lack the confidence to actually try to participate in activities that can actually help them. So by encouraging these orphans to try and participate or interact with us, they try to sing their own songs. Also, they perform some dances of theirs. It boosts their esteem and their confidence, which helps them have a tool or build a tool which can help them speak for themselves.
Mhm. Okay.
So we
Um,
usually do this when we visit them at their orphanages, when
mhm,
we show them the books that we have brought for them, accompanied by the food that we bring. We usually provide relish and some grains like rice and grinded maize, or let me say corn, as you call it
mhm,
in the United States. We grind corn.
mhm,
It's called mealie meal. It's our staple food. So we
mhm,
give them that, and then now we start interacting and try
mhm,
to make sure that the environment around them is less tense. So by doing that, we encourage interaction. So when you encourage somebody to interact in development initiatives, they begin to have confidence to speak and to participate in activities which will benefit them in the future.
So, what does giving back look like for you in practical terms?
Giving back. So
Mhm,
if somebody gives me a chance to educate myself, they take me to school, the best thing I can do to give back to society is actually use the skills and the knowledge I have gained from attaining my education to help foster development in society. So giving back, to me, it
mhm,
looks like a graduate taking part in community activities and taking part in politics, taking part in fostering technological advancements, and
mhm,
actually speaking against inequalities. That's what giving back looks like for me. Speaking for people who can't speak for themselves, being a voice of people who are too afraid or too marginalized to talk or understand what's going on. So
mhm,
giving back for me, that's how
mhm,
it looks like.
mhm. Have you ever collaborated with other artists or leaders on community focused efforts?
I've collaborated with other artists
Mhm,
on community focused initiatives.
mhm,
I've got classmates who are artists too. who I've collaborated with in recording music that can actually speak for the people, music that we usually sing whenever we visit orphanages. And we have collaborated with leaders. To be specific, our lecturers at school, the leaders we have collaborated with in our club. We've told them about our club and what our objectives are, and they have come aboard and actually helped us with some extra tactics on how we can actually improve our societies, and with some extra funding and some buzz on social media by boosted posts from our university and actually collaboration with other future non-governmental organizations that we would want to collaborate with in the future. But yes, I've collaborated with artists and leaders in fostering community development.
How do you stay grounded while navigating both the music industry and community advocacy?
So the only way I stay grounded is by constantly being around people who are like-minded as I am, constantly interacting with people who keep on improving me and keep on challenging me and keep on reminding me not to get too big-headed, to remind me that there's always somebody better than me and somebody who's actually thinking of making a change. Because I believe uh, birds of the same feather flock together. So if I put myself around individuals who are not focused on what they want to do for the community, I will end up starting to think like them, and I won't make a change. So I keep on surrounding myself with people who actually strive each day to improve themselves, their skills, their social skills, and everything.
What's one lesson you've learned from the people you serve?
One lesson I've learned from the people I work with is that you can always achieve what you put your mind to if you are united. If each and every one of you puts 100% of their effort and you keep on putting 100% of your effort, you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. Nothing is impossible. With teamwork, nothing is impossible.
How do you define success, not just in music, but in life and legacy?
Success to me is a world without war, a world without war, a world where people can move freely without being restricted, a world where we don't look at each other as black, white, yellow. We look at each other as humans, a world where everybody has free and equal access to resources that can actually build them and help them become better. That's success to me.
So, what advice would you give to young creatives who want to make a difference?
The advice I can give to young creatives who want to make a difference is seek the guidance of Jesus Christ. Read your Bible. There are so many values there, core values that will actually keep them in check. Read Ecclesiastes. It will teach you about how to be a leader, how to work with other people, what to look out for. Don't focus on the money, focus on improving yourself and improving others. Then The money will come later when you actually deserve it. Because when you focus on the money too early in your career, you will not improve yourself. You will be entitled to things you don't deserve. So
Ooh.
improve yourself, improve your skill, then you can actually get a chance to make some money and improve other people's lives.
So let's transition over to your legacy, your vision, and your future moves. What does legacy mean to you as both an artist and a community leader?
Legacy to me as an artist is, regardless of me being retired, is knowing that I nurtured artists to be their authentic selves in a record label and growing them into artists that can provide for themselves and continue making a good impact. That's legacy to me. Unlike what we see, another artist inspiring other artists to promote gayism, uh, drug abuse, gang violence, which is really negative. So legacy to me is building a future generation of artists that can actually encourage people of our color specifically to think big. Then legacy to me as a community leader is training individuals who can actually continue a project like Book Drive and make it bigger and include their own ideas, regardless of encouraging them to continue Book Drive, encouraging them to actually incorporate their own unique ideas and make a change. That's legacy to me.
If you could speak to your younger self, what would you say?
I would tell my younger self to not people please, never do something to please the majority, because most of the time the majority are always wrong and they will never really appreciate what you do.
Mm,
At the end of the day, do what is right in the eyes of God and do what is good, what is right for you. Keep on, keep on being your authentic self, never give up. That's what I would tell my younger self.
What's one dream collaboration you hope to manifest in the future?
My dream collaboration. I would like to work with J. Cole.
Oh,
I've
wow.
noticed that he's a really humble guy.
Yeah.
He's a humble guy
Mm,
and he's got a fan base of people I would really like to speak to.
mm,
Uh, I know that he speaks positivity, but there's one thing which is can really complete what he speaks about,
mm,
which is Jesus Christ and God.
mhm,
If I get to collaborate with him, we can actually make a good song which can speak about positive things in life. You're making an impact as a black man, or as an Asian man, or as a white man, while focusing on the true goal, which is Jesus Christ. At the end of the day, we might be artists, but we always should remember that we are here to actually serve Jesus Christ and achieve his will, fulfill his will.
I'm writing that down because if we get that opportunity, we'll put that word out for you.
Thank you so much. I'm humbled.
How do you want your music to be remembered generations from now?
All I want is I should be remembered as somebody who loved what he was doing, regardless of maybe not even achieving the dream of being the best or the best in his area. I just want to be remembered as somebody who loved what I was doing, because I have a slogan which I go by. I say, Nazi going jazzy. I get the jazziness from the jazz music, which makes you feel good, and the name. They actually rhyme. So I say Nazi going jazzy because in my music, I always want to make sure that I'm making sure that I'm having fun doing what I'm doing. If it's dancing, performing in front of crowds, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, as much as we want to make a living out of what we're doing, the most important thing is to enjoy what we're doing. So I want to be remembered as a guy who enjoyed what he was doing.
So tell us, what's next for Emmanuel Nawa? Any upcoming releases?
Can you repeat the question again? The network was a little bit bad.
I said, tell us what's next for Emmanuel Nawa? Any upcoming releases or projects we should be watching for?
Watch out for Emmanuel, or let me say Nazi featuring Tokyo. We're working on something. It's going to be highly spiritual and really focused on the R&B side. So that's something you should be focused on. Then secondly, watch out for Nazi featuring Asifa. She's a British songwriter and singer. We're actually working on a project that will release. When it's done, I will give out the details of the release date and everything.
Okay.
So those are two things people should watch out for. Then the third and last thing people should watch out for is Emmanuel, Imata Sasa, Jerry Mulewa, and Manasseh are actually working on creating and announcing a newly formed foundation, which we call the Pamozi Foundation, meaning the Together Foundation. It's a foundation which will create to focus on improving the skills of youths and uh, encouraging unity and forward movement.
Oh, wow.
So those are three things I would like people to watch out for.
Okay. And how do you stay inspired during difficult seasons?
It's very difficult to stay inspired. If I say I'm always inspired, then I'm not being honest. Sometimes I'm not even inspired. So the thing I do is I'll listen or I'll watch content of people who are actually doing something I'm interested in. I go to church, I fellowship. Sometimes you get to get some inspiration from the people you fellowship with who are actually singing for God. Sometimes you get to get inspiration from other artists, and sometimes you get inspiration from your classmates.
What role does storytelling play in your work, both musically and socially?
So, storytelling helps my audience to understand who I am, what motivates me, and what inspires me to do what I'm doing. If it's a song, I'll tell a story about how that song came into fruition, or if I'm actually doing something in the community or I'm at school, storytelling helps people understand who I am or why I chose to study what I'm studying and participate in the community work that I'm participating in. So, storytelling helps me achieve understanding by telling people about myself and about what I'm doing. I help, I, I encourage understanding.
So, how do you hope your journey will inspire others?
Can you repeat the question?
How do you hope your journey will inspire others?
I hope my idea inspires others regardless of what they are interested in or their areas of study, their skills. I hope my story encourages to pursue what they really want, regardless of being encouraged to study a specific program in university. I would I would hope that my story encourages people to pursue programs which they really want because I've noticed in Africa especially youths like me really are forced to study programs which they don't like because they are trying to make their parents and their families proud instead of pursuing something which they really love and something which would really take them forward in life.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got just a little technical difficulties. We should be getting Emmanuel back really soon here. Looks like we've got some connectivity issues here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have lost. Nazi's back. Okay.
Apologies for that. Apologies for that.
No, no problem. I guess before we get going back to that question, there's a couple of comments here that are in the chat that I want to share with you before you get we finish up.
Okay.
This one is from it's on the screen. Asher Lemon. It says going jazzy.
Yes, that's actually my best friend.
Okay, and then there's also this one from Anita Muma. She says, "Go Nazi, Zambia, Cuchulo."
So that statement,
Uh-huh.
Kuchalo, means Zambia to the
Okay,
world.
that's what's up.
So that's the CEO I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the CEO, our CEO of committee.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you for watching the show, and I hope that you continue to watch. Um, I've got two more questions here for
Yes.
you, so we can go ahead and wrap up. Tell us, what's one truth you hold on to when everything else feels uncertain?
When everything else feels
Mhm.
uncertain, I say there's this scripture in the Bible. Everything happens at the time God chooses. So when I'm going through something, which a time which is very difficult, I always remember there's a time for everything,
Mhm.
and nothing stays permanent. If I'm going through a rough patch in my
Mhm.
life, I in there's a time for everything. So
Mhm.
it gives me hope that okay, today might not have gone well for me, but tomorrow will be better.
Mhm. Final question here. If you had one message to share with the world today, what would it be?
That's a very good question. I would say Jesus Christ is King. Jesus Christ is King.
Okay. So, do you have any words of wisdom, encouragement, for our audience, or you can tell them how to connect with you on social media, your websites, YouTube channels, anything you'd like for them to know?
I would like to encourage everybody to keep on believing in themselves, focus on what you're good at, continue crafting your skill, be patient. Then, another thing I would like to speak about is if anybody wants to donate books to Book Drive, they can find us on our Facebook page. Our name is Book Drive Committee, or they can check my link on my LinkedIn bio. That's where that link will lead you to all my platforms, my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter account, or let me say my X account, everything about me at Nazi, Nazzy. And always remember, Nazi going Jazzy.
Well, look, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us today. This was definitely enlightening and a wonderful, wonderful interview. I want to tell I'm very, very proud of you, as I said before, for not only the work that you're doing as far as music goes, but the work that you're doing in your community. And it deserves to be noted, to be seen, and for everybody to know the big things that you're doing over in your country. For those of you that are
I
watching,
would,
oh, also, I'm sorry. I also want to make sure that, we can also discuss having you back on the show as well.
I would love to be back on the show anytime. And I would like to express my gratitude for being invited to this show. It's
Mhm.
really an honor to be seen and
For those of you that are watching on the YouTube channel, If you have not yet subscribed and gotten all the notifications, I would hope that you would take the time to please
by
I would appreciate if you could please lend us your support by subscribing to our channel, as well as getting all the notifications so you can get all the shows live, as well as you'll be able to watch all of our previous shows as many times as you like. What we just got today on this wonderful special, as we did this broadcast live from the continent of Africa, the country of Zambia, we have a young man that's actually doing wonderful things for not just his young growth, but starting a career that has put him into a space that is definitely going to be world renowned. It's young men like this that are our future leaders of the world, that we need to more than just support, but we need to be there when the time is needed to help in the lifting. As he mentioned his book club drive, I would encourage each and every last one of you to please reach out and please donate the books to the book club, as they're looking for many books to pass around into their communities to help people, not just in the orphanage, but just in the many parts of the community, to help people as far as educational perspectives in order to help them to make their lives that much better. So let's lend our support to Emmanuel or to Nazi, and let's help not just him build his community, but let's help the country of Zambia as we try to keep as many people educated or get as many people educated as possible. Because as he mentioned earlier, education is key. And I think each and every last one of us can help to do our part when it comes to doing this. And so again, as we have broadcasted this wonderful show here, America in Black and White, that are coloring conversations on the canvas of America, we'd like to thank Emmanuel or Nazi, for being here and sharing not just his story, but letting the world see that we have a new creator that's doing big things in the music industry that we should all take notice to. I want to thank you again for being here, sir. We will discuss your reappearance on the show, and I wish you much success, and also the work that you're doing in your community, that the community builds and it does all the things that you want it to do. You all have a great day. Please see us tomorrow for another great show on America in Black and White, and you guys have a great Sunday. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles King. God
Yes,
bless
sir.
you.